Right then, so we're looking at this Turbopower 2 today. This is the next one in line to be repaired. I can't exactly remember what's up with it. I have switched it on. I think the motor sounds bad or something like that anyway. So I've just brought with me the basic stuff that I'll use to repair this type of clean. A new bag, new filter, new belt. If I need anything else, I can nip to my parts bin and get it, can't I? I've got some. That is great. I use that on all my motors. That all-purpose 3-in-1 oil is brilliant. So get yourself some of that. Might need that. Right, so yeah, again, I'll be fitting a pattern bag because I don't like the Well, I do like the expensive ones, but they're expensive, and that's the point. That's why I don't buy the genuine stuff. So we'll move all these bits out the way for now. Get yourself a pack of them as well. I think they're brilliant. I'll go into them more later. And we will plug the machine in, and I'll show you what's up with it. It's a Hoover model U209001. Yeah, it came from the tip. Turned it on when I initially got it, but I've had it for a long time since, so I can't exactly remember what's up with it. As I said, it's got all the tools on the back, apart from the dusting brush, which should go there. But on vacuum land, I've heard people saying, because this is a really budget Turbopower 2, people have said that it's got a moulding space for a dusting brush. Like the hole's there, but one was never actually fitted with the machine. It just came with a gap. So how true that is, a few people have said that. And other people have said, no, it should have a dusting brush. But anyway, I'll put one with it. I'm sure I've got one somewhere spare. Yeah, so it's got scabbard crevice tool with, yeah, that's how it goes. There you go, and that goes on the end of the hose. Bit mucky, isn't it? Bloody hell. There we go. And it's got the little upholstery tool thing. There we go. Right, so, and it's got the hose, obviously. Right, well, let's give it a go. Let's get going. Last thing I'll mention to you. I'm trying to make my videos a bit shorter, but I always keep talking, which is why they take for ages. It's a very basic model. There's not even a bag full light. There's a blanking piece where you'd have a bag full indicator there. On the really early Turbopowers, they did have a piston bag full indicator there. Then that was blanked off, and they had a neon bag full indicator there. But on this budget model, it doesn't even have that. Of course, it's got no auto sense. It's just on, off with the switch. Don't know whether there's a belt fitted. There's a bit of tension there. Anyway, we'll plug it in and we will see what it sounds like. If I remember correctly, there is something up with the motor. Yeah, I think the motor's got dry bearings. Well, it sounds... Whether the motor's actually burning out there, I'm not too sure. It sounds like it could be burning out on second thought. It doesn't smell that smoky though. We can always try the bearings first, can't we? Test the tool suction. Smells are vaguely smoky, tiny bit smoky, nothing, it's not got smoke billowing out of it, so whether it is the bearings or the old motor's burning out, I don't know, we'll have a look. Anyway, so we know it does work to a fashion. Well, it doesn't really work, does it? It runs. I'll have to plug it back in because I didn't check whether the brush roll was spinning. No brush roll there on that one. So whether it's snapped or not, even if it did have one, it'd probably be due for replacing, so it's just as well I brought one in, wherever the hell it's gone. Qualtex one. There. This is actually a Pure Power belt, but the Turbo Power 1, 2, 3 and Pure Power, they all take the same belt, so I'm not bothered. Right, okay, let's have a look in here. Lovely. It's a good thing I'm on my off-cut of carpet today I'm working on, isn't it? So we'll put that there, and if we get it working, it can suck all that up at the end. So we have got a bag. It looks genuine. It's not been put on properly. It's not been fitted properly, the bottom. Yeah, see? There you go, anyway. So it did have a bag. Yeah, it's a genuine Hoover Turbopower bag. Is it a Turbopower 1 bag? No, it's for Hoover, suitable for all Turbopower 2 and Turbopower 3 models. Right, so the reason that all that is in the bottom of there, like it is because they've not put a bag slide on the bottom of the... Oh, it's a double-walled bag, isn't it? Well, it will be, being genuine. Oh, yeah, look at that. Lovely. There's no bag slide on the bottom of the bag. It is a reusable bag. See, it says fold. So that's one reason why all that's gone everywhere. And the other reason is they didn't put the bloody thing on properly. If they put it on, it might have stood a better chance. That's probably why the bearings are dry. They're probably clogged up with dust. Anyway, yeah, you can have a look at that for all you people that like the genuine bags. There's not, that you know. I was going to say, I'll put it back in, but I've not, there's no slide with the machine, there's no bag slide. So I'll put my pattern bag in for now, but I'll keep that because there's nothing in it. All the muck's just gone straight past it because it's not been on properly. And I'll just keep that as a genuine bag and use it in one of the machines that does have a bag slide. And what I've done before, if I've only had, you know, open-ended bags and I've not had a bag slide, just fold it and staple it shut because I don't really use them anyway. Well, there is a tiny bit of muck in there, but nothing to throw it away for anyway. There we go. So we'll put that to a side. I did show you it, I did, didn't I? Well, you can all have a look again. There you go. So we'll put that out the way over there. Yeah, and we should clean out the inside of that, shouldn't we? What should we use to do that? We'll use this Pure Power because it's out. As I said, I'm trying to make my videos quick, so I'll just grab what I've got to hand. It's alright, that. There we go. Does it smell of smoke? No, it doesn't smell of smoke, so we'll give it a go. Right, so we've cleaned that out. We've not done anything major. We've not wiped it down or anything. We've just took all the, you know, clumps of muck out. Right, where's the bag door? How can you lose a bag door? Oh, there it is. 900 watts of power, or as the advertisement says, of unrivaled suction power. There we go. So it's not of the type where you have to have a bag in to close the bag door. It will click shut with no bag in. Brilliant. I'm trying to think now. It's been ages since I've done a turbo power. What do you do next? Tell you what we'll do. We'll pop off the height selector. that would be a good start. We'll put it on low pile and then pop it off, and I'll be able to remember where it went then. Why is it not coming off? There we go. Let's keep that safe. What should we do now? Right, flip it round, I guess. Move that out of the way. Can you still see what I'm doing? Just about. Okay, so you can tell it's a later turbo power as well, because it's got this, because this area was prone to blocking because it's small. It's only a very narrow suction channel, that. And the earlier turbo powers, I think you've seen an earlier turbo power on my channel, because I've got a turbo power 1000 with autosense. You've seen that. This had a similar, that had a screw. Earlier models had a screw to keep this little cover on, but it blocked that frequently, that Hoover changed it for this yellow design. So you push that up and that comes off there, and you can take your blockage out. I don't know how it goes back. There we go. That's on. Right, okay, so there's a few screws underneath. One there, one there, one there. I think that's it, 3. So, well, we might as well take that back off then, might we? We don't need that on in the way. Not coming out. Oh well, it's unscrewed all the way anyway, isn't it? One that's come out. And the other there. Right, okay, so this should just pull off. There we go. So where's that last screw gone then? Have I just lost it? There it is. So we've got 3 screws and your base plates. Keep them safe. Bit dusty in there, but nothing too bad. That can be cleaned up. Genuine belt. Genuine snapped belt. Turbo Power 2, it says on it there. Long, aren't they, when they're snapped? Boing, quite elasticy that. Right. I think that had stretched anyway, to be honest, before it snapped. So, that can go in the bin. Brush type 2, it says on here. Well, we should be able to pull out brush type 2, shouldn't we? There we go. Metal end caps, as all decent brush rolls will have. See there, it says brush type 2. This is Hoover's activator brush roll. Oh, it's very... Ooh, look at all that. It's been used though, hasn't it? So we can't complain. And as well, it was free, so we definitely can't complain. It's got the little activator bumps on it there. I always thought this would have been more effective if it was a bit like the older Hoover cleaners and the bumps ran that way across and not that way. But still, I'm sure it's better than brushes only. The brushes do look a bit short, but we'll have to see how it performs when it's in, because it's got the activators. I think the brushes don't matter as much, so we'll know soon enough when it's in. Well, you see, I need to keep... I've got everything in special places because I know I won't lose anything then. Right. How the hell does the cover come off? Oh, there's more screws down there, isn't there? So you should take these out. And then the hood should come off of this Canary yellow vacuum cleaner, as that's what Hoover... That was the official colour of this, Canary yellow, which it is. It is yellow like a canary. The thing's bright yellow. It's quite nice. Now what's that I'm undoing? Is that anything, that screw? I think I've just undone the agitator support caps. Never mind. They're out now. And all the screws are the same, so I can't tell you I'm too bothered. There we go. It's a bit dusty in here again. Bit of rust on the motor spindle, but you know, moving the spindle with my finger, it does turn freely. So it's not seized or anything. Some more stickers that have just either been peeled off and then put on, or just slapped on there in the factory because they're not on straight at all. Remove cover in event of blockage. See, right? Any more screws? Any more screws? Well, there's one right the way down there, but I've no idea what that does. We'll remove it. Is there any on? Yeah, there's one on that side too. Right, that's all the screws then, and the hood will come off. I'll just tip it to get them screws out. Well, one's come out anyway. Oh, they both have. There they are. Brilliant. Got all the screws. So then, turning the machine back that way, the hood should just come off. And there it is. Again, a bit mucky, but you know, never mind, it can be cleaned. Bit dusty under here, isn't it? Yeah, let's give it a quick vacuum. There we go. Just keep on top of things. Right, now to get to the motor, well, there's a bracket on the side here which secures one side of the cleaner down, or one side of the cleaning head to the main body of the cleaner anyway, so we'll take that out. Right, I see, okay. Oh, and there's one on the other side as well. We'll have them out. This is a plastic bracket on this side though. Anything to save money, so Hoover obviously deemed that this side of the bracket didn't take as much stress and therefore it wasn't important to have a metal bracket. It's not coming off anyway, but I've took all the screws out, so there's nothing to stop it. Go on. There we go. Brilliant. I've no idea which way that went in. I'm sure I'll find out later. And there's your white bracket from the other side, your cheap white plastic bracket. And then here is your main chassis. Wheels could do with a bit of an oil, but they do spin. So putting your chassis and your hood to one side. Put them behind. Actually, this is a good view because it's not as bulky now to show you the model. There you go. So it's Hoover model U20900001. Serial number 37639713. 230, 240 volts, 50 hertz. BAB approved. That stands for British Electrotechnical Approvals Board. Max 900 watts. Made in EC. What does EC stand for again? Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. European Community or something it stands for. Anyway, I think this would have been one of the last UK-made Hoover cleaners. I think it was made in the UK anyway. I know PRC is People's Republic of China, but it's not that. It just says EC. I think that's European committee or something. It will be UK made. So yeah, you can see now it's out. The motor spindle is actually quite rusty. I don't know why that is. It's got hair wrapped around it. We'll have a look in more detail now. Laying it back down again. Back on the operating table. Or the operating carpet, I should say. We'll have these filters off, eh? I bought a new filter kit for it, so there's the old one. And obviously keep the filter cover safe, the black grill, because you'll need that. It's got a space there for a Hoover air freshener. You just see the lines there where it's supposed to sit in. But I'll be using just some cheap non-branded air fresheners, so not putting a proper Hoover one in. Okay, so bag door off again, I think now. Thought I broke it then, that were lucky. Right. So with the bag door off, I'm sure this is a cover. I'm sure this pops off if I can remember. Going back a few years. It does, you see it's loose. I know there's screws under here. Can't remember how that comes off though. Oh, I've just cracked it there, look. See where I've cracked it? That's a shame. No, I'm going to totally wreck that. So what I'll do is I will take out these two bottom motor screws because I can see them. So we'll take out the obvious first. One there. One there. Right. Well, I can't go any further until I figure out that cover. Because I know for a fact there are two screws hidden underneath there. Right, there's two clips on the top. Stupid. It's typical, isn't it? If I'd remembered that, the whole... Yeah, there we go. I wouldn't have had to crack it. You can bloody see what I've... Well, you wouldn't notice when it's all back together. You can't even tell now, even, can you? I have cracked it anyway, but you can't tell. So that is that piece there. And then there's two more screws here on the motor cover. And with these out, the front motor cover should just pull off. See though, this is the problem in it. I said the front motor cover should just pull off. I didn't say it will, I said it should. And it hasn't. And there it is, that side's gone anyway. Oh, and so's that side. So I should just be able to ease it up and off. There we go. Christ, they're long, aren't they? Bloody hell, look at the length of them. Right. That can go with the base plate. We'll leave the screws in this hood. We'll leave them in the holes and then we know what these screws are for and what they do. Can you see our motor? Yes, you can. There it is. Right. There's some sound deadening there, some foam, but it seems to have all deteriorated. Bit mucky in there, a few bits of gravel. Give it a quick clean out. There we go. Right. Can't see what colour wires are what. It's that dusty. One's black. Two are black. Oh, it's the same one. I always think there's a little internal fuse there. That's clever. And that's brown. That's loose as well, isn't it? Don't know what that screw does, but it's loose. I'll just tighten that one up for now because I don't want the whole thing falling apart. There we go. So that end of the motor comes off with a little rubber seal or a little rubber grommet, whatever you want to call it. That fits into there. And then you've got your bottom big floppy seal there. Some more of that sound deadening that was talking about that's just totally gone. Don't know what that is. It's like a little internal. Must be a heat sensor to cut the motor out. There's a little internal thing there. Can you see it? That's what I'm on about there. Anyone know what that is? If you do, please tell me. I think it must be a heat sensor or a thermal fuse of some sort. Right, so without taking the motor completely apart, that tape's loose, isn't it? But it's not. I'll just leave that alone. I think the carbon brushes, they look alright. I've not had them out, mind, but I think they're alright. I don't think this cleaner's of an age yet. Well, you don't know how much use it's had, do you? But I don't think the carbon brushes or the cleaner itself is of an age where they would need to be replaced. There's a date here. What does that say? We'll have that off. Well, it's stuck on. January, February, March 91. That can't be right. March 91. There you go. Whatever the hell that means, or half of it's been cut off. I know it's not from 91. I think the Turbopower 2, it was probably, Hoover were probably designing it in 91. I don't think it was, well, it wasn't out in 91. I know that for fact. So that's useless. And then there's all this hair around the motor spindle, isn't there? I usually try and just prise it off, as I'm doing now with a screwdriver, and if that doesn't work and it's wrapped around something like a metal spindle, I get a lighter and burn it off. That always works, and it shrivels away into nothing. Yeah, it's all coming off now. You see that can wind around the motor spindle. It can make the belt slip and the brush stall. So you don't want that. If you see anything building up like that, make sure to take it off. It's lovely and shiny under all this hair. It's probably protected the spindle underneath. Probably would have been quicker if I brought my lighter up with me, and then I could have burnt it all off. But if not, so there's no use complaining. Have I got anything else sharp or pointy or anything that I can just... we'll try this little screwdriver here. You want to make sure you get all that off. There we go, that's cut through it. So there you go, hair, women's hair, lovely. Always gets stuck. Oh, well, I've just pulled out that thing I thought was a thermal fuse, and it is a bimetal strip. So it obviously is some type of fuse. It's a bimetal strip, so when it heats up too much, the two metal strips part and it'll cut out. At least we know what it is. Right. And all the hair's off the motor now anyway. And I think I don't have any to hand, but I think what we're going to have to do probably is fit a new top motor bearing. Don't think I've got any. I'll have to buy one. Because the top bearing looks shot, to be quite honest with you. Tell you what we'll do. There's two ways you can go about this. You can order a new bearing, replace the bearing, and it'll be alright, or you can load up the old one with oil. I think we'll do that. We'll just ram a load of oil in and see. We've got nothing to lose at this stage. Right, so getting my 3-in-1 oil. Get yourself to Home Bargains, get yourself some of that. We'll put a bit in, a few drops is all we need. There we go. I always put more in than necessary because that's just what I'm like. And then turn the motor a bit by hand like that, just to help it sink in to the bearing. Sounding better already, that, if I'm honest. Just turning it by hand. I heard the oil sink in, and it made a different noise, the motor. We'll just put a bit more in. There we go. And we'll let that sink in. Right. We'll put said motor back in there for the moment. And you shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna. What we'll do, turn it on at the cleaner. I'm gonna go over here and we'll listen to how that motor sounds now.